You know the smell. If you were ever in your grandmother's bathroom as a child, really in it, small enough that the medicine cabinet was at eye level, you know the smell. Witch hazel and ivory soap and something faintly powdery underneath. A bar of soap worn almost transparent on the edge of the sink. A glass bottle with a paper label. A folded washcloth on the towel bar. That bathroom was cleaner than yours is today. Not because she had more products on the shelf, because she had fewer, and she understood exactly what each one was for. These are 10 hygiene habits every woman in the 1950s practiced without thinking about them. Not one required a prescription or a subscription. Every one of them worked. Before number 10, subscribe. This is exactly what this channel is here for. Hit that button, then let's go. Number 10, she never sweated through a dress in her life. Not because she didn't perspire, because every dress she owned had dress shields sewn into the underarm, oval-shaped fabric pads, sometimes rubber-backed, that absorbed perspiration before it ever reached the dress fabric. Kleinert's was the brand most women knew. A package cost under $1. She sewed them herself on a Sunday afternoon, or she bought dresses with them already basted in place. The global antiperspirant market, not deodorant which stops odor, but antiperspirant which chemically blocks sweat, is now worth over $18 billion. It was built on the promise that you would no longer need to protect your clothing from your own body. Dress shields disappeared from department store shelves in the 1960s. Nobody announced it. Number 9, Tuesday evening, 1955, the bedroom at 9 o'clock. She sat at the vanity, opened the white glass jar with the pale blue lid, and applied cold cream to her face with 2 fingers. Massaged it in circles, wiped it off with a folded cotton cloth, applied a second layer, thinner, left it overnight. That was the entire evening routine. Pond's cold cream, approximately 49 cents at Woolworth's. It dissolved makeup, cleansed, and protected skin without stripping it. The cleansing and moisturizing segment of today's skincare market, micellar water, double cleanse, night serum, eye cream, overnight repair mask, is part of a $180 billion global industry. Your grandmother solved the same problem for 49 cents and a cotton cloth she already owned. She did it every night of her adult life. Number 8. In 1953, Saturday evening belonged to one thing. The tub was filled deliberately. The good towels came out of the linen closet, the children bathed first, then the adults, the bathroom door locked. 20 minutes of privacy in a house that offered almost none. Daily showering did not become standard in American homes until the late 1960s. Your grandmother was clean every day of her life. She used a fraction of the water. Number 7, the bottle on the medicine cabinet shelf never ran out. Witch hazel, Thayer's or store brand, 19 cents. She splashed it on a cotton square after washing her face. It tightened pores, removed remaining residue, and left skin clean without stripping it. The same bottle handled bruises, insect bites, razor irritation, and the heat rash her youngest got every July. One bottle, one shelf, 8 uses. She didn't count them. She just knew which one to reach for. The facial toning category of the modern skincare market, toners, essences, astringents, pore refining mists, is worth over $5 billion today. It is a direct replacement for something that cost 19 cents. Thayer's still makes it under $12 at most drugstores, doing the same job it did in 1953. Number 6, Monday was wash day. The line went up before 8. Sheets first, then shirts, then undergarments pinned with wooden clothespins. The whites went out when the sun was highest and stayed until mid-afternoon. She knew, without anyone explaining it in those words, that sunlight bleaches cotton and that UV exposure kills bacteria on fabric. The whites came off the line brighter than they went on, smelling of nothing but dry air and sun. That smell has no commercial equivalent. No dryer sheet has come close. Ultraviolet light kills bacteria and pathogens on fabric, documented in textile science and understood intuitively by every woman who simply watched it work. The dryer industry in the United States is now worth $5 billion annually. She did the same job better for free. Here is the pattern that appears in every item on this list. One product, multiple problems solved. The same jar of petroleum jelly that healed her cracked heels also softened her cuticles, protected her children's minor cuts, and treated her own lips in January. The modern personal care industry runs on the opposite principle. One problem, one product, one purchase. Each requires its own packaging, its own marketing, its own place on a shelf that grows longer every year. She was not less sophisticated, she was working from a different logic. Number 5, there was one jar in every bathroom and one reason for all of it. Vaseline, petroleum jelly, white jar, blue lid, 25 cents. She applied it to cracked heels before bed, to chapped lips before going outside, to her cuticles after washing dishes, to her children's minor burns as a protective barrier, as the final layer over her face on the driest winter nights. The specialty products marketed as replacements for each of these uses represent a combined market worth tens of billions of dollars. Every one of them is, in some form, petroleum jelly with added fragrance and a targeted marketing category. The original jar costs $2.99. Her version costs 25 cents. The job is the same. Number 4. She handled it. That was the phrase. Every woman in America managed her monthly cycle with a cotton pad held in place by an elastic belt with metal clips. The Sanitary belt. Kleinert made one. Kotex made one. A box of pads cost about 35 cents. The word napkin was the only public language permitted. No health class, no pamphlet, just a belt, a box, and a closed door. She did not call it a hygiene product, she called it handling it, and she handled it without complaint, without a product line designed to make her feel broken for having a body. The global feminine hygiene market is now worth over $38 billion, built almost entirely on the language of freshness, confidence, and protection, words that imply, always just beneath the surface, that the body without the product is inadequate. That language did not exist in 1953. The belt did not speak. Neither did she. What I found researching this were solutions. Practical, economical, effective solutions to problems that are still problems in 2026. The industry didn't improve on them. It crowded them off shelves, out of conversations, and out of the knowledge that passes from mother to daughter when both of them are too busy buying the replacement to notice what they're replacing. Number 3 is what she did in the last 10 minutes before sleep. Number 1 is the product on this list that should never have been trusted, not because it failed, but because the company behind it knew something for decades that it chose not to say. Number 3, before bed, she applied Vaseline to both hands, not a thin layer, a real coat worked into each knuckle, each cuticle between the fingers. She reached into the nightstand drawer and took out a pair of thin cotton gloves kept specifically for this and put them on. She read, she slept, she had hands that people commented on. Not because she had money for treatments, because she did this 3 nights a week, every week, the same way her mother had shown her. The overnight hand treatment industry, repair creams, intensive masks, treatment gloves sold as a complete system, generates hundreds of millions of dollars annually. The branded system runs $50 or more. Her version cost the price of one jar of Vaseline and a pair of cotton gloves she already owned. Number 2, every scraped knee in America got painted red. Mercurochrome. The little brown glass bottle with the rubber dropper, the orange-red antiseptic, 25 cents at the 5 and dime. In every medicine cabinet in America from the 1920s through the 1980s, 3 generations of American children knew the specific sting of that dropper on broken skin. In 1998, the FDA required updated clinical evidence from all over-the-counter antiseptic products. The manufacturers of Mercurochrome declined to fund the required studies. Without the submissions, the product could not be certified as generally recognized as safe. It was removed from American shelves. Not recalled, not banned with announcement, removed quietly because the paperwork had become more expensive than the product was worth to its manufacturer. A product that had treated cuts for 3 generations disappeared without a word. The wound care aisle that replaced it runs 40 feet long. Number 1. She dusted it on her babies from the first day home from the hospital. Johnson's baby powder, the white tin with the red and black label, 25 cents. She had used it herself as a girl. Her mother had used it. The nurse in the delivery ward showed her how. She used it every single day, on her babies, on herself, without a second thought, because it had been used for generations and no one had given her a reason to stop. In 2020, Johnson & Johnson discontinued talc-based baby powder in the United States and Canada, not because of a new discovery, because internal company documents released during litigation showed that Johnson & Johnson had been aware since at least the 1970s that their talcum powder could contain trace amounts of asbestos, a known carcinogen. They did not change the formula. They did not disclose the findings. They continued to market the product to mothers and to women for intimate use for decades. By 2024, Johnson & Johnson had agreed to pay approximately $6.5 billion to settle claims from women who developed ovarian cancer and mesothelioma after years of use. The product she trusted most completely, used in the most intimate moments with the people she loved most, that product, that company knew. Your grandmother's medicine cabinet held 10 things, maybe 12. Each one had a job. Each one did it. You walked into that bathroom at age 7 and the smell went into a part of your memory that advertising has never found. Witch hazel and soap and something powdery underneath. The glass bottle with the paper label. The bar worn thin at the edge of the sink. What replaced that cabinet was not better hygiene. It was a better business model. The same jobs get done now with more products, more steps, more monthly deliveries, and one of them turned out to have been dangerous in a way the manufacturer understood for 50 years. She didn't have a routine. She had knowledge, and for most of what she did, the knowledge was enough. Pick one habit from this list, try it for 2 weeks, come back in the comments, and tell me what it did. The next video is ready.